Yesterday, in my previous class, we finished this chapter till this line. I am going to call this friend Kitty. So she put the name of her diary Kitty. Next page. This oral comprehension you will solve. Okay, if you have understood the previous lines, you can solve these questions. I am going to start. Since no one would understand a word of my stories to Kitty if I were to plunge right in, I would better provide a brief sketch of my life, much as I dislike doing so. My father, the most adorable father I have ever seen, didn't marry my mother until he was 36 and she was 25. My sister Margot was born in Frankfurt in Germany in 1926. I was born on 12 June 1929. I lived Frankfurt until I was 4. My father immigrated to Holland in 1933. My mother, Edith Hollander Frank, went with him to Holland in September, while Margot and I were sent to Aachen to stay with our grandmother. Margot went to Holland December and I followed in February when I was plunked down on the table as a birthday present for Margot. So, through these lines, she refers to her father as the most lovable father one could get. Her father married her mother when he was at the age of 36 and she was 25. She was 25 means her mother was 25. She and her sister Margot were both born in Frankfurt. As soon as Anne turned 4, her father moved to Holland, followed by her mother in September, while both sisters stayed with their grandmother in Aachen. Margot was also sent to Holland in December, followed by Anne in February, who was brought as a birthday present for Margot. I started right away at the Montessori Nursery School. I stayed there until I was 6, at which time I started in the first form. In the sixth form, my teacher was Mrs. Cupros, the headmistress. At the end of the year, we were both in tears as we said in heartbreaking farewell. In the summer of 1941, Grandma fell ill and had to have an operation, so my birthday passed with little celebration. In Holland, through these lines, the author expresses her views in Holland and was sent to Montessori Nursery School. It was her first school. She started from uh, first class. Then she had Mrs. Coopers, the headmistress, as her teacher in the sixth, from who even cried at the time of farewell. In 1941, the author's birthday could not be celebrated well because her grandmother fell ill and underwent an operation. Grandma died in January 1942. No one knows how often I think of her and still love her. This birthday celebration in 1942 was intended to make up for the other, and Grandma's candle was lit along with the rest. The four of us are still doing well, and that brings me to the present date of 20 June 1942 and the solemn dedication of my diary. So, here She explains, unfortunately, her grandmother left them in January 1942 and misses her grandmother more than anyone knows. This year's birthday was to be celebrated with a great deal so as to compensate for the last years. She then mentions that her family is doing well, which sums up her background and brings her to the present date of June 20, 1942, when she is writing her diary. So again, these are the oral comprehension check. Why does and provide a brief sketch of her life. What tells you that Anne loved her grandmother. You can answer. Why does Anne provide a brief sketch of her life? Because she wants to give some basic knowledge about her life so that the reader can take interest to read her diary. And what tells you that the Anne loved her grandmother? So here you can find out the answer. No one knows how often I think of her and still love her. So these lines tells she loves her grandmother more and more. And now Saturday, 20th June 1942, dearest Kitty, on our entire class is quaking in its boots. The reason, of course, is the forthcoming meeting in which the teachers decide who will move up to the next form and who will be kept back. Half the class is making bets. Gian and I laugh ourselves silly at the two boys behind us, Cian and Jax, who have staked their entire holiday savings on their bet from morning to night. It's you are going to pass. No, I am not. Yes, you are. No, I am not. Even G's pleading glances and my angry outbursts can't calm them down. If you ask me, there are so many dummies that about a quarter of the class should be kept back, but teachers are the most unpredictable creatures on earth. On June 1942, Anne begins writing in her diary, addressing it as her friend Kitty. She mentions how her entire class is nervous about the result. It is unpredictable and will be decided by a meeting of teachers in which they will select students to be moved to the next class or kept back. Many students were making bets. Some had put in their entire summer savings at stake. She and her friend G also made fun of the nervous boys. They kept on saying to each other that I am not going to pass, while others would console them and say, yes, you would. G was polite as she tried to stop them from making noise while Anne scolded them, but none of it worked. According to Anne, about a quarter of class should not be allowed to pass because they hardly respond or take part in any of the activities. She refers to them as dummies, but this may not be the case because teachers' decisions can't be predicted. I am not so worried about my girlfriends and myself. We will make it. The only subject I am not sure about is maths. Anyway, all we can do is wait. Until then, we keep telling each other not to lose heart. The author says that she is not bothered about her friends because she is sure that they will pass. The only thing subject that she is unsure about is mathematics. She seems to be having a tough time with the subject, but all they could do was wait. for the results and not lose their